Hey y'all, chainsaw repair guy. Today we are going to do a saw that is my favorite saw of all time. I told you there was an update going down with this one, or there was going to be a teardown and a complete rebuild on this one. Well, time has come. It blew up. Now it's time to tear down, figure out what happened, and do some work on it, see what happened. So anyways, I've already taken some pieces off of it. I've already taken the carburetor off, the cover, the filter. I've already taken the chain and bar cover, so you can see the carburetor here. I took out the decompression valve, just to see what that was like. I just kind of want to see what happened, because it just it stopped running on me, and now it's lost complete compression. Excuse me. So anyways, this is the McCullough Super Pro 81. I got the cover. Right here. So it's McCullough Super Pro 81. I don't know if that's actually right. I actually have no idea which way this is actually facing. I'm doing this off my phone again. I still haven't been able to get a camera just yet, or a GoPro or something, so I can set up and do some good videos. But anyways, cover McCullough Super Pro 125. And so anyways, we're gonna hop to it. We're gonna start tearing the sucker down. So anyways, I think the easiest way to start is to take off the wraparound bar. This is actually busted, but I'll end up getting a new one. So anyways, let's get to it. I kind of think I have an idea of what happened to it. I'm not 100% certain, but I've kind of got an idea that it threw a fit, had a air leak, so it kind of just enriched itself, or leaned itself out, and didn't want to cooperate the rest of the way, so it finally just gave up. So and for those of you that don't know about some of these saws, these muscle saws, this one in particular runs on a 16:1 fuel oil ratio. It's quite, it's rich. Let's put it that way. It's oil rich. I had to really look it up just to see, and I actually asked around, because I'm not a know-it-all when it comes to saws. I just tear them down and show you guys how to diagnose them and see where you go from there. But I have an idea of what happened to this one, so this is going to be my first idea, or my first thing I'm going to check. Sorry, it's kind of rambling on while I'm trying to work here. So I'll have to order this hold down bracket. Stick this over in the corner. Get the rest of it off. Oh, that's a bigger one. Look at that. Nope. No. Well, that's a 1/2 inch. No, 11/16. Let's see what I got going on here. I'm missing a few things. Bet you it's in the tool bag that I loaded up so I could go to work on another car. There's my that needs to be set out. Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. It's an 11. So, anyways, now that I got that done, just throw my tools on the floor, you know. That's what happens when you... I don't have it. Damn it. Let's try the 7/16, see if that fits it. Oh yeah, okay. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot on this one, but if you're tearing down a saw, you always want to keep your stuff organized, because you never know how long your saw is going to be sitting. Unless you plan on putting it back together that day and you have a good memory on how everything went, I suggest keeping everything the way you took it off. So kind of like this. You got a bolt here, right? And you got, it's I don't even know what you call it. It's a half moon bracket. So you just keep it on there and you set it in a spot where it won't move. So I've got a little cabinet that I set all my parts in, so I know where they are and they won't get lost. And I'll set the carb and I set the chain and bar guard in there. So now that we got the bar off, everything will be a little bit easier to get to. So anyways, there's 2 spots to be able to take this top off. So there's a couple screws down in here, wherever those went, but there's a couple screws down in here. I don't know if you can see that at all. Yeah, of course my finger. So you see that little hole right here? This one right here? There's a screw there, and there's one more right there that you'll have to take out, because that's the bracket that goes underneath for the intake. And then there's another one. There's flathead here, and then you have your 2 bolts. Sorry, I'm kind of working with port light here, but there's 2 bolts right here that you take off to take the tank off. So let's go ahead and get to that real quick. I'm going to use my new Cobalt flathead screwdriver. I love these things because they got a really nice grip to them. And this bottom piece is only held on by a couple bolts underneath as well to be able to take it off. So we'll take this part off, but right where I think it ended up, what ended up causing it to blow up is underneath the tank and the air cleaner. So you see how that's loose now? Now you can take, there's a bolt right here to take off, and I believe it's another 7/16. We'll just use this. I need a socket for this. It doesn't take very long to take these things apart, and there's not really much holding them together. But, so, now that's off. See that? So, that's where the flat head was. And then that one bolt. And the whole bottom plate comes off. So, it's pretty easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a flathead screw back in the handle, so I know where it's at and where it goes. I turn it in a couple of rounds. You don't need to tighten them all the way down. It's not necessary. So we'll throw this in the cabinet. And then I actually forgot to tell you about these two. These two need to come out as well because they hold on to, there's a bracket underneath here that holds this part of it on too. You can get these with a flathead depending on if your saw's even got it. Last time I rebuilt this thing, I ended up having to put a new piston in it, which is probably what I'm going to have to do now. And so, any of y'all that have babies, keep the containers you keep formula in, if they're, you know, fed on formula, because you can clean these out completely clean. There's parts in them, and then you label the container with some like tape or something, because you never know if you're going to end up using it for another saw or something after this one's complete. You just label it and which saw it is, and you leave it with the saw. So there's that, and then got to loosen. Oh, I didn't actually really have to do that, but I did it anyway. I just loosened up the throttle cable, the throttle thing. Really didn't need to do it, but by the time I thought about it, it was already too late. So let's just put it back on real quick. Okay, so that's that. So anyways, put your container out, and then this guy, this is going to be the pain we're just going to have to deal with. They take forever. Mind you that I have already, well, except for the oil tank, I haven't emptied the oil tank, I don't think, or the chain oil tank. But I've emptied out the fuel, so I know there's not going to be any fuel spilling out everywhere. And these ones, these bolts that you take off, just put them back in the tank when you take the tank off. So I'd actually really like to know where I put those bolts for the underside of the car. See, that's what I'm talking about. If you take something off, put them back, and you don't end up losing them. You don't make the same mistakes I made. So I'll just throw them back, or put them in the bin for right now. And then when I get the tank off, which is almost there. So depending on if someone's worked on it before, you're gonna have to take a flathead screwdriver and pry the intake off. And then this piece that's under here, that's fantastic. I don't want to have to take that out, but I may have to. Or I can just do it the easier way and just take this top bolt off. So anyways, there's another bolt right under here that holds this bracket in. So instead of taking the bolts out on top, you can take this single one off. It's kind of hard to get to, so you kind of have to take these top bolts off just to pry it up just a little bit to be able to get it off. And you should be able to finagle it off. So I need to find the right size. I can't remember exactly what size it is. That's an 8mm. Let me grab some more wrenches. I'm going to see the 7/16 will work because the 11 almost fits it. And I know these saws are old and they really weren't metric or anything like that. So, but I just use them because they're easier to use. But so, any of y'all that are watching, and if you're looking for a quick video, you're not going to find one here. This is a long video series on how to take your saw apart and so on and so forth. So if you want to see the video on how everything is broke down and explanations on how it works, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment below, and I'll answer them as best I possibly can. But like I said before, I'm not a professional. I've just been working on these things for a long, long time. So I can pretty much answer just about any question about these things. But if I can't really answer your question, I will ask someone else and just answer it for you. So anyways, now that I'm done blabbing. So, anyways, wrenches. Let's try the 10mm. I believe that's what it is anyway. So, I don't know. Well, it sounds like my mother and my daughter are outside, so the video might get interrupted, but who's to know.